Welcome to the ninth and final video of this series where we've been taking a look at the Ofgem price cap. In part 8 we looked at the future forecasts as they stand now and the change of Europe's supply mix. This is our ninth and final video in this price cap series, so thanks for staying with us. You've now seen some of the detail, some of the complexities surrounding why the price cap is what it is, why it's priced where it is, and perhaps the realisation that it takes time to recover from the industry taking such a hard beating it could never have imagined seeing. In this final episode, we'll end on a positive and look at the future towards that light at the end of the tunnel, although we may need to reposition our outlook to make it a slightly shorter tunnel. So, does the price cap work? In a word, and in our view, yes. Although there are many out there that think it's not fit for purpose. Note that I've not said it's perfect, but it does serve its purpose. There is an amount of acceptance to the concept of give and take required though here. How can we evidence this, I hear you ask? Well, firstly, we need to recognise and accept that the price cap is the upper limit of permitted rates a supplier can charge. They can always charge below this, and no one stops them from doing so, except perhaps the shareholders who will not permit suppliers to operate at a loss. Suppliers would have likely hedged the current cap smartly and squeezed some extra margin, which they can use to offer below cap rates to their customers. The price cap has been tested to and probably beyond its limits this past few years, and some changes have been made to make it adapt to the crisis we all watched unfold in disbelief. So with that point, it's the upper limit, hence the word cap. Let's take a look at how it served during those crazy price times. It gave us advance warning. Remember, I started this video series by saying that Auxilium hit the headlines with our forecasts, warning of £4,000 and potentially £6,000 cap levels when the price cap was still at less than £2,000. Consumers had warnings things were bad, it would be on the way, and to prepare. The government also prepared what is considered to be the largest support package of our generation to support energy bills in the form of the Energy Price Guarantee, or EPG, by around £1,000 per household. Now that's around £30 billion. There was also a huge similar package for businesses that has also cost many billions. In other words, we knew what was coming in advance because of the cap. Whether households can afford the numbers is a separate matter, but the cap methodology allowed suppliers to hedge in line with the cap, subject to those credit lines being available, of course, which for some wasn't possible, and that's why we saw so many failures. As people came off long-term fixed prices, they could see what they were going to move towards in the era of fixed tariffs being removed from the market. Okay, I fully understand and appreciate that was a huge shock for many. Coming off a regular £50 direct debit to now be faced with one of £250 for the same energy was hard for most being to understand, yet alone accept and afford. Many households were worried about the costs being forecast, but it brought concern, attention and worry to the forefront, which is why the government support package was put together when it realised that this was not going to be a single cap period blip. So to go from a typical cost of £1,000 to then £2,000 and then on to £3,500 and almost £4,500 in the space of less than a year was concerning. These were the cap prices. However, the government support package meant the cap was never greater than £2,500 to consumers. Only in the last few price caps have we managed to get back below £2,000, but it's still twice as high as it used to be. Remember, underpinning all of this is that cap is designed to protect consumers in a downward market to ensure that suppliers don't excessively profit. It's not perfectly designed to show its colours in a market that rises and falls aggressively, but it has been adapted from 6 monthly to quarterly so that customers are always now more closely linked to the market. If you ask yourself, have I been protected by the price cap in the last couple of years, there will now be very few people that can respond no. As annoying as it is to watch the wholesale market fall and the price cap not fall as fast, that is just a smoothing effect designed into the cap that we have to live with. We get the advantage of it in an upward movement market, but we have to accept the concept of give and take with the price cap. But it does work. So, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but we need to make the tunnel slightly shorter in lowering our expectations to see pre crisis levels again. I personally think that a price cap of around £1,500 would be enough to see suppliers get back to offering fixed price deals, although they're likely not to be too far away from the price cap. If the market continues to fall further and the price cap falls to, say, around £1,300, then there really isn't too much lost for those who fixed at £200 higher and can gain the benefit upon expiry. The market needs to properly recover from the shock it suffered and find stability, and we're now starting to see that slowly. It's fair to say that people now are acutely aware of their energy usage and tariff prices, which can only be a good thing. Suppliers are now bringing in products that will help consumers be more proactive with things like solar panels and smart meters that allow variation in pricing to reflect real-time use. These are all great things to add to the market, but it's important to accept this isn't available to the vast majority of the market, but it does help in the mix to a sustained and protected marketplace. So, a positive outlook to end our presentation and video series. We hope this has had some benefit in helping you understand what the price cap is, what it does and doesn't do, and why we saw prices hit incredible prices. The outlook is quite positive right now, and of course we have the price cap in place should we ever see a repeat of the events seen in 2021 and 2022. And so that brings us to the end of part 9 and our video series on the Ofgem price cap. We'd like to thank you for listening and taking part in the series, and hope that you found it useful, at least in parts, to help you form a considered view of what is going on behind the scenes of the price cap and why it can't just be changed quickly. There's a lot of complexity in the energy markets, and the price cap is certainly no exception. Should you wish to contact us to discuss this or any other energy related matter, please do so using the details on screen now. You can email us at info@auxilione.com, take a look at our website found at auxilione.com, or follow us on LinkedIn by searching Auxilione. Thank you once again, and we look forward to engaging with you in a future topical video series. Bye for now.